What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Endure, Believe, Rise. I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope that your loved ones are in good health. So I wanted to do another moment that gets me hyped. We're doing Soldier Zero. Now, you probably never really heard of the comic called Soldier Zero, and this um, moment that gets me hyped comes from the last issue of Soldier Zero. There was 12 issues. It was one of Stan Lee's later comics. He did it with an independent comic company called Boom Studios, and Soldier Zero was a concept that it was an alien sentient being, kind of like the Venom suit, but it wasn't just one of them. There were several Venom. There were several suits of the Soldier Zero, and they inhibit people. Right? It's basically like a suit that you put on, like a synthetic suit. Anyway, not to give too long of an explanation, but it was a good comic. Unfortunately, Boom Studios decided, or Stan Lee, whichever, not to continue the Soldier Zero comic. So, you know, at the end of the day, we only got 12 issues. But in the final issue, we got a pretty good finale. Anyway, I love a good build up, and it was a heck of a build up for 12 issues for the whole year that I followed this comic, and I believe I still have it on my wall too. On the quote of the day, you'll see Soldier Zero over there. Yeah, it's still up there. He may that all those might come down soon, but anyway, not to get too far off subject. Soldier Zero is fighting these two giant beating beings, and again, Soldier Zero isn't a name; it's a rank. So it's like private in the military, you know. So at the end of the day, these sentient beings, or I shouldn't say sentient beings, well, but anyway, these beings, these powerful cosmetic beings, they're here on our planet, and they're fighting Soldier Zero, and they're trying to disrupt the energy and change the energy, right? And what that's gonna do is it's gonna kill a lot of people, and they're like very intelligent, and evidently, they're creating temporal portals, right? They're time travels. But Soldier Zero is trying to, of course, protector of Earth. He's trying to beat them and everything of that nature, and they are kind of just like swatting him away. They're just like be gone, right? We're talking about like skyscraper big, right? You're like, get out of here, right? Well, eventually the suit locks in and starts to reveal to him all of the weapons that are actually at his disposal and the things that he can do. So he locks in and he starts bringing the pain, right? And these giant skyscraper, these intelligent, these massively temporal, intelligent beings, they start, having no choice but to, instead of just trying to swat them away and just kind of like treat him as annoyance, now they have to treat him as an actual threat. So they tell each other, no longer is he just a minor annoyance. He's now a threat. He must be neutralized. So they go to use their full power. So he's like they're like, oh, you want to use your full power? Fine. Let me show you what we can really do, right? So they go to use their full power, and as they're going to do that, again, these are temporal beings, right? These are time traveling beings. So with them being time travelers, you know, and they came to the past to elect a certain response, right? To correct a certain era. As they're gearing up to destroy Soldier Zero, their devices start going off to let them know, you know, putting him down is going to actually damage this, and this. They're very intelligent because, you know, when most of the time when you have these time traveling, scenarios or stories, they basically just give you the butterfly effect, right? Like, hey, um, don't do this, don't do anything in the past when you go, because it'll affect what's going on in the future, right? One way or the other, right? And we can get into all the different theories on time travel, or different theologies on time travel, right? I, for one, believe that time travel exists and it's real. Take it for what you want, call me a loony or whatever, or flat earther or whatever, but I believe that time travel exists. Anyway, a lot of theories out there about time travel and philosophies. But anyway, most of the time they just tell you don't touch anything. Whatever you do is going to affect the future in a way. But these beings actually have a device, they actually have intelligence that feeds back to them on what they're doing and how it's going to affect the future, right? And affect the timeline. So they stop themselves and they say we can't destroy him. And they said, error, we made a mistake. We didn't expect him to be here at this time. He's not a Soldier Zero, he's the Soldier Zero, right? And I know for a lot of you that doesn't mean a lot, but to me, reading this comic for 12 years, 12 months, reading it for a year, getting to this point where it was like he's fighting these two massive, powerful beings. They were getting the best of him. The suit unlocked new powers, and it still wasn't enough to beat them. They were about to destroy him, and then they realized we can't, because he's important for what's to come. Like, we have the power, the ability, but we'll be shooting ourselves in the foot, right? We'll be cutting off our nose to spite our face. So they said to each other, we must elapse and move further into the timeline, so that the events unfold the way that they're supposed to. And Soldier Zero is like, whoa, 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 what's about to happen? And they just look at him and say, good luck, Soldier Zero, and dip out. And I was like, well played, right? That was curtain closed. Um, he's standing there at the end of the comic, and his friend comes out, and she's like, what happened? He says, I think I won. And it's like a question mark, because it's like, well, did you? Because like, yeah, they didn't beat you, but also, yeah, some shit's about to happen later on. Excuse my language. Some stuff's coming down with my blood, right? So, anyway, that's the moment that gets me hyped. I love that comic. You could probably find it in a trade paperback. I don't know that it would really be as impactful nowadays with all the comics that are out and everything that they follow. But I wish Stan Lee and Boom would have continued it at least for 2 more years, so we could see what he was planning. To keep going. There's probably so many, and I'm sure you guys can name, like, there's so many um different movies and episodes and TV shows and comics and books, and even bands, right? Even musicians and artists, rappers, who they dropped that one album and it's like, man, and they never dropped another, and it's like, yo, we want another. You got that one season, and it was like, yo, like Jericho. That's another one. I might have to do a moment that gets me hype on that, but I'm going to have to go back and watch it, because I remember the premise of it, but man, a lot of those episodes were so long ago. But it's just it was a great moment for me. He's not a Soldier Zero, he's the Soldier Zero, and just to look at him, he's like, what's about to happen here? Like, good luck, Soldier Zero. I just was like on standing up, like that's how you do a cliffhanger, right? That's how you leave them wanting more, right? So, all right, guys, I need y'all to take care of yourselves. Please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.